have spent the past few weeks crafting with much of the nature around me and capturing moments of it all to share with you. Today's video is a collection of those moments. I'll be making a floral wreath for May Day, spending some time in the rose garden, giving you a quick tour of my own little garden, and making a seasonal bouquet from the flowers that I grow myself. Also, near the end of the video, I will be sitting down to catch up with you all and talking about some plans for the time ahead. Everything, of course, is time-stamped if there's something particular you want to see. I hope you enjoy the video, and I will chat with you in a few moments. So I hope you can hear me over the birds, but I wanted to give you a quick little impromptu tour of my garden this year. As you know, I had grand plans last year that failed fantastically. So this year I am keeping it simple. So as you can see, my garden, let me back up. My garden is mostly feverfew. I have some little borage sprouts coming up. My brother's cat, London, over there, has been making his bed in here, so he dug up some of my seedlings. So I'm gonna have to figure out some sort of contraption to keep him out, even though this is a very tempting napping spot for a cat. And then over here, I have my hollyhock that I planted last year. It's the only one out of the 3 that I planted that made it through, but it's looking pretty healthy. I don't want to speak too soon because we know how that goes, but I'm very excited because I really want a hobbit flower in my garden. And then here, I believe this is my calendula that is sprouting, and I had planted it all over here, but it's mostly grass. As you can see, I have to go in and weed that. So I'm hoping that turns into something really lovely. And then, oh yeah, I have a sundial, even though this is going to be very shady over here. Oh, hello, sir. Have you chose to make your entrance now? You have been a very naughty boy. Oh, and then my St. John's wort, right there. I need you to stay out of my flowers. Yes, you, sir. I need you to stay out of my flowers. Okay. These are not quite ready to bloom, but when they do, I cannot wait to make a beautiful bouquet from all of these because they last well into the autumn time. And it's only May, so much to look forward to. Please grow. Please grow. Wow, this is going great. Some of these are going to be dusty and have eraser shavings in them. Ah, that's fine. I think I'll survive it. Looks like these roses are getting pretty dry. I do live in a humid environment, so I think I'm going to give them a couple more days, but let's go ahead and combine them. I can dry these out later. I like to make a wash to repel mosquitoes, and there's a couple of other uses for feverfew. I'll have to brush up on my knowledge on that. Look at how pretty these are. I just recorded this entire section with the wrong camera settings. That's, I guess, one of the cool things about life. We can always learn more about something that we seem to be pretty good at. I've learned so much about my camera in the past half hour just by recording something wrong. Anyway, we are at the very beginning of a long stint of 90-degree days here in Georgia, so needless to say, I am staying inside. I have been just reviewing some footage from the past month or so, just here around the house and small crafting projects that I've been doing, and I thought it was time to pull it all together for you guys. There's about a month until the summer solstice, but there's still a couple more weeks to work with the springtime energy. However, I will be shifting my intent towards working with the solstice energy here soon, and I want to talk about that in an upcoming video. I also wanted to chat a little bit about coming back to the heart of this channel and why I started it, because over the weekend I decided to look back at some of my older videos. I don't like to rewatch my videos because I find them really cringy, but I try to remember that that just means that I have grown. However, in this case, I thought I was going to take those videos down. Instead, I kind of inspired myself because I saw something there that I feel like in recent years I have lost, and I think it's time to rekindle that. I moved up here a little over 4 years ago, and I think ever since then, as much as I love my family and being around family, I think that has been part of my over-editing process. In my last video, I mentioned that I tend to over-edit so I don't say what I really want to, and I've been feeling really burnt out, but I think the reason is because I am not being authentic to the roots of this channel and why I started making videos in the first place. Which brings me to my main point. I want to come back to my earth-based spirituality practice, to my witchcraft practice, and I want to talk about that more here on this channel because I started off that way, and in those old videos I saw my naive hopefulness and the purity of just sharing something that was in my heart and my excitement. I was living in the city at the time. I wasn't even surrounded by all of this beautiful nature. I was foraging on bike paths and on the sidewalk and just studying herbs, and I was just so excited. And I want to come back to that. I think that by hiding the part of myself that connects to the old ways, that defeats the purpose of me sharing these videos in the first place, because I've always talked about this space being a haven for that sort of thing, yet I still find myself holding back and not saying what I really want to, and not talking about magic and my witchcraft practice, which, when you break it down, it comes from my ancestry. Even my mom's side here, coming from the Appalachian mountains, everything that I do in these videos, working with herbs, crafting a burn salve or drawing salve, making herbal teas and St. John's wort oil, these are things that people in the mountains would have been doing, because that's why it's called folk medicine. Folk literally means of the people. So what I'm crafting are just everyday humble remedies, everyday magical practices that my great-grandma probably did every day, and no one thought twice about it. I think that when we put a label on something, that creates a lot of tension and polarization, and that's certainly something I want to talk about more in depth in an upcoming video. But for now, I did want to bring that up, that I am feeling rested. I've had a lot of clarity about where I want to go with this channel, and I just feel like I've reconnected in a way back to why I started, and I feel ready to continue forward with everything.